Stars this In Touch Weekly article wherein Kate's mother, Carol, has moved in with Kate's family at their Norfolk estate has garnered a lot of reaction online. If Carol has truly moved in, that's interesting. The story also states that Nanny Maria is still there. And Nanny Maria, we know, is the rumored source of the Spanish journalist Concha Calleja's reporting on Kate's health state back in January 2024. The article also claims Kate's sister Pippa is there. We have seen no photographs that prove any of this. So take that with a grain of salt. The article is meant to be reassuring. Green Circle comments, her kids are 10, 8, and 5 years old, and they're making their own snacks. Is the near future King and Queen of England that hard up that they can't get paid helpers? From a quick search, the largest landowner in the world currently is King Charles III of England. How much land does the royal family own? He and the British royal family own more than 6,600 million acres of land around the world. They technically own many territories around the globe, amounting to 1/6 of the surface of the planet. But Louis V, okay, almost 6. I think either today or Tuesday he'll turn 6. He has to make his own meals and snacks. And they have Pippa living there too. And their mom. Isn't Pippa married to a billionaire? None of this makes sense unless she's at the door of the spirit, let's call it, in terms of Pippa and her mom being nearby. Orange Circle remarks there may be a clue to the answer in the article, which ends with a gripe about Harry and Meghan. The trust is gone. William and Kate can't risk them leaking anything about Kate's condition, which would make the situation even more stressful than it already is. Leaving aside the H&M drama, which most people couldn't care less about. It's all made up. It's one-sided, right? It's a distracting attempt at a surface level drama to distract us from this here. Kensington Palace seems to be stressed about potential leaks about Kate's condition. That has been true absolutely since December 2023. Assume that, as of yet, Kate is non-responsive, such as in a coma or a vegetative state, and she's hooked to machines in a bed in Anmer Hall in Norfolk, right? Not to sound cruel. This is just a theory for educational and entertainment purposes only. It's a thinking exercise. Assume also that A, the footmen, maids, drivers, etc. of the royal household are paid minimum wage, and B, that there's a lot of turnover. They quit all the time. Very little institutional loyalty at that level. If Kensington Palace is stressed about leaks, would they be allowing minimum wage and not particularly loyal staff access to the house where Kate is? Would Kensington even allow staff drivers to shuttle the children around? Kids talk, and if a driver overhears one of the kids mention something such as, "If Mummy ever wakes up," well, potentially that's a big payday to the driver from a tabloid for that tip, right? We know Lord Rothermere, Geordie Greig, Rupert Murdoch, they stop at nothing. Phone hacking, paying informants, paparazzi in the trees. They don't care as long as they get the story. Unless, of course, Camilla's foot is on those particular owners' necks where they can't and won't publish something that goes against the official Buckingham Palace line. Now, Kensington Palace is different, and maybe that's why we've been seeing so much inconsistent, confusing mess. Not from Buckingham, right? They've been buttoned up. King Charles appears and speaks as regularly and reliably as the tides roll in, right? Keeps that drumbeat going. But Kensington Palace is all over the place. They're trying this, then they go back on it. They're trying that. This picture, that video. And when anyone asks questions, then they unleash the dragon. We get bots commenting all up and down this app. They're all over other apps trying to browbeat anyone who has an opinion about all this information that's being thrown at us, a lot of which doesn't make sense. Now, if Kensington Palace has decided to circle the wagons and essentially reduce the workers in Kate and the family's orbit to skeleton staff, it makes sense. The royal family has the money for the help. They just can't trust the help. So yes, I do believe that George and the kids may be currently preparing their own snacks. It's also not outside the realm of possibility that Carol and Pippa and maybe even William are all pitching in with the housework themselves, making beds, dishes, laundry, could be. Carol being the kids' driver makes a lot of sense also in this scenario. Green Circle replies, that does make sense. If you're actually trying to keep the status of someone's health a secret, you have to limit who gets to see that person. It's a bizarre situation to create in the first place, but it's the only one that makes sense as to why Kate has literally been missing for 4 months now. It's also been a month since her AI video, replete with her AI teeth doing a veritable river dance. I thought we might see her once or twice in public since then, even a brief appearance, even if she was wearing a wig and a hat. It's hardly impossible to appear briefly like this. It's almost a slight against other cancer sufferers. It suggests that if you have cancer, all you can do now is hide away. You can't do anything. Almost every doctor would recommend trying to live as normal a life as possible within means. Heck, why not even a bedside photo? If she's genuinely got cancer, I obviously sympathize, but she's sending out a negative message hiding away like this. Blue Dolly remarks, this whole thing seems so bizarre for just someone with cancer. Green Circle adds, believing more the divorce rumors now and Kate and her family closing the wagons for a really tough negotiation with a powerful, powerful family. Pink Circle says, but what about Carol's friends? Wouldn't they leak something out? Or the kids, teachers? Just totally unreal, all of this. The royal family really has gone downhill since the queen passed away. She would turn in her grave. If she's becoming unalive or is in a coma, they should tell the public. That's who funds their lifestyle. It's like they are taking the piss out of the public. Hope Kate's okay, just the whole thing is starting to get on my nerves. I think with Charles having cancer, rumored to be serious, Kate having cancer, rumored to be serious, bungling Kate's PR, and them literally running the spare and his wife out of town. They are terrified about the future of the monarchy. Kate is the most popular royal. If she becomes unalive, a lot of public goodwill goes out the window. And that seems like a fact. Green Circle replies, getting on my nerves too. And whatever happens, I do think the royal family will go down the drain. The public may turn on Kate as well if it's a divorce only, but if it's a divorce after a DV attack that put her in the hospital, the public will stick with her, although I still think interest in the royal family will be negligible, and they deserve it. And interest may very well also die out in your girl. Depends what she does if it's a divorce that's coming. If she wants to try and stay in the limelight, she'll probably be able to do it and get sympathy, but nothing will ever be the same. Pink Circle, I agree, not the same at all. Orange Circle, Carol's friends, well, that would depend on how forthcoming Carol is with them. And if she's moved in at Norfolk, presumably, then she doesn't see her friends too often anyway. People act like there's no phones, FaceTime, Zoom, or any way of communicating with your friends if you're not actually in person. Like, this isn't a soap opera. Like, there is technology to communicate if you choose to. Why pretend? I don't like us being played for fools. Ridiculous. As far as I can see, the royals are already gone, for I do not see them. We haven't been so harsh as to wish Kate unwell, but truth is truth. I had no privacy with my cancer, quite the opposite. Green Circle says, interesting. Yes, that does make sense. For me, especially because I think it is the royal family and all their helpers that Kate and her family now distrust. Why? We're still in the dark, but after that Us magazine cover story, I'm beginning to go more with the divorce story and a really tough, cruel battle going on between the Middletons and the royal family over the divorce. Orange Circle adds it's possible, but the crux of that divorce story, published April 1st, was Kate was not wearing her wedding ring in the Mother's Day photo, and that since Kate on social media took responsibility for the picture, Kate therefore had taken her wedding ring off, and that meant etc., etc. But I think given the transparently AI video of Kate on the bench, someone else faked the Mother's Day photo, and that person mucked up the hand. They forgot the ring, and when Kensington got caught out, they got on Kate's social media and Kate, in quotes, said sorry. So when Kate, in quotes, was apologizing for photoshopping the photo, it wasn't Kate. I agree. It has to be the interns in Kensington Palace, Colin, Ewan, and Ian, because it was such an unprofessional set of images. Ugh. Any working person would hand in their resignation. They'd be so embarrassed and humiliated to have something so messed up and obviously messed up go global, and all the rest of the impact of that particular set of images. So she's never taken her ring off, and that deep sixes the divorce theory. Interesting. Red Hat says, well said. These points are being missed by everyone. This magazine of National Enquirer level news is taking so many things out of context. Brown Monster says, and this is never new from days of yore. I agree with that. Yellow Monster says, I don't understand it either. Starting with the photoshopped picture. They had to take their own photographs, do their own Photoshop on it, do their own shopping at a farm shop, carry their own shopping from the farm shop, need to rely on 69-year-old mother to take her to appointments, need the children to start making their own snacks, etc. This would be pretty much expected for most families in the UK when one person has developed cancer. But for the royal family, maybe it is all lies told in this way to reach out to the common people who can then relate to the hardship when Kate is so ill. Green Antenna, Carol isn't shuttling her anywhere. Her doctors come to her. Also, preventative chemo is usually taking one pill once a day. She doesn't have cancer. It's gone. The doctors got it all when they did surgery. There is no cancer. Red Hat says, thanks for pointing this out. Everyone else seems to have missed this. Why is it, she's battling cancer? She's not. She had cancer. They operated. They removed the cancer. If the info is true that she's recovering and they are now turning her home into some kind of hospital setting, then she must be sicker than we're told. White Bunny adds, her mother has been a rock for them because their home life has changed a lot. Kate has been able to rely on William, her mother, and those in her inner circle to help her with the children while she focuses on getting through chemotherapy, fighting this disease, and adjusting to her new normal, a source said to In Touch Weekly. Fighting this disease? This is not preventative chemo. She is likely immune suppressed, meaning she is at high risk of getting seriously ill with infection. This is why the cottage is being made over. She is much sicker than is being acknowledged.